Yeah. Say that heaven
Designed.
What are we doing today?
I don't know, you guys. You need to scoot over.
Did you hear about that Texas boutique that they put in a thing, an advertisement to Texas Monthly, and in the background they have something in their boutique that says "Back the Blue."
Oh, that's in there, right?
Yeah, it's in here. It says "Back the Blue," and Texas Monthly was like, "Sorry, that's political." That's political.
Excuse us while we go make a mural. Black Lives Matter in a street somewhere.
Yeah, but how is "Back the Blue" even political?
Oh, it is.
That's become political now.
Flags are political. Literally, just the
the
sight
American,
of an American flag
is political now.
Yeah.
What is wrong with everybody?
You guys, we got a lovely present. Can you hold? And I'll.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm yawning.
This is from Belinda Buckler, who runs Be Designed Art Studio.
You guys.
Ceramic tile art.
Look at this. This is art. I'm sorry, I'm going to hit your head. I don't want to hit your head.
She's a ceramic tile artist from Van Buren in northern Indiana, and she made that.
Look at that.
us.
This is a tile.
Isn't that amazing?
It? That is gorgeous.
She wrote, in part, "What you do is brave and important, even though at times I'm sure it can be very discouraging." You know when it's discouraging, Belinda? Right now. Because I made the mistake of getting on Twitter this morning to check and see what's going on with the downtown Chicago looting that is still underway, or at least was at 6 o'clock.
They're loot-tastic.
I mean, Magnificent Mile is essentially destroyed. People are breaking windows and stealing everything because, nothing says Black Lives Matter like stealing Louis Vuitton bags. So malls emptied out, the Tesla store vandalized. I mean, it's out of control, right? And the number of people who are defending this and somehow saying, well, Trump killed 160,000 people with his COVID, so of course there should be looting. I gotta tell you, this is when I feel discouraged, is when I see the number of people defending criminality. That's when I get discouraged. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for this ceramic tile, because it was a real day brightener. And
yeah, they'll defend this and then say people can't go to church.
I mean... This is
and it pisses me off.
Well, and Lori Lightfoot herself, she was super mad because there was this gay gathering of some sort outside on Saturday, just tons of gay people were hanging out together outside, and she was outraged about it. How dare all these people be gathered outside in the sunshine? This is a pandemic, you guys. But I guarantee you, she's not going to have a lot to say about all the riots.
No.
Because it's a noble cause.
It's noble. It's totally noble.
Oh!
Yeah.
Be fearless, be brave, always be the badass chicks that you are. Thank you again from Be Designed Art Studio. You can find them. I don't know where.
I don't know who said that, but you're right. Nothing helps the cause like a free TV.
Right?
You're right. You're right.
I don't think there's a website.
And some Chanel. Everybody needs some Chanel. Everybody.
But just look for this. Look for Be Designed Art Studio in Van Buren, Indiana, and hit Belinda up for some ceramic tile gorgeousness.
Can you read that? It's kind of fuzzy. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, thank you, Belinda.
Very,
it's
very
gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Very, very mad at everybody today.
Yeah. I mean, give me a break.
It's happening in Seattle, too. I mean, the Seattle is a mess. Everything's a mess. The cities are being torn apart. And for what? So somebody was like, well, that's what you get when people are unemployed and it's Trump's fault.
Really?
You get people looting because they need to eat. Really? Because I don't know how a Louis Vuitton bag feeds anybody's stomach.
You can't eat Chanel. You can't do
God.
that. That's not how it works. And if you say, well, they're going to go sell it. No, that's not what they're going to do. That's not what they're doing. You're lying.
Oh, one of these idiots, this woman who was in the middle of one of the high-end stores, she's videotaping the looting. She's videotaping her participation in it and saying, when she's trying to pick up something that has one of those security tags on it, she's like, I can't breathe. And then she grabs stuff off of the shelves and keeps walking. These people are lunatics. They are absolute lunatics. I just can't. Also, there are swamp rats.
Literal swamp rats. They're
terrorizing
literal rats.
But no, they're swamp rats. They look like beavers. They look like giant rat beavers.
Yeah, and she put them on my Facebook wall last night. I'm not even kidding. With the caption, I'd pet them. That's what she did.
And I would.
Yeah. And you know my response.
I mean, once they were dried off.
You know what my response was? I'd shoot them. This is why we're a good team, you guys. Because I would shoot them. I'm like, why would you pet them? They're disgusting.
Well, after
and
they
slimy,
dried off a little bit,
and they
do look a little
they have
slimy.
disease, and there's so many of them.
There's a lot
I
of
would
them.
be like grabbing my AR, just going to town.
They're big.
Yeah, they're big.
They're big.
They are big.
They look like the ROUSs from Princess Bride. They look exactly like that, only not as mean. They don't look as mean.
So gross.
They look nice.
This is-
I mean, they just look a little slimy is all. But I bet if you washed them off, they would be very, very cuddly.
No, this is what firearms are for. So gross. They're so gross.
Anyway, but it's a problem. Like in Fort Worth,
Yeah.
specifically. I don't know what's happening there, but there are like a massive. There's just a swamp rat army.
And I imagine they carry disease.
Probably
You
so.
don't want
People
that.
are not happy
You
about
don't
them.
want that. Why would you want that?
I don't think people do, and that's why there was a whole article about.
And
people not-
meanwhile, she's like,
But I would pet them.
I would pet.
I would. I like petting the animals. Okay, so I did make a note that Wisconsin now is the latest state to contest Kanye's attempt to get on the ballot there because his list of signatures included Bernie Sanders and Mickey Mouse. So they suspect that maybe it's not on the up and up. And so they're probably not going to let him show up on the ballot there. Also, Ghislaine Maxwell gave George Clooney a blowjob.
We probably should have
I
said.
not say that?
You probably should have said something because there were probably kids in the room.
Oh.
Well, it's already
Well,
done.
it's out
done.
there.
It's out there. You just said you can't rewind that. Okay.
She
Pleasured
performed.
pleasured him orally,
Right.
Yeah.
That's what she told
did.
Virginia.
and I believe it.
I believe it.
Totally believe it. And you know that George Clooney is probably like, oh dang.
He's
He's probably
"Crap,
freaking
I
out.
really
He's
didn't
like,
want to be
I
brought into
really,
this.
really. Why do you got to bring me into this, Ghislaine?
It's Ghislaine.
Yeah. And then she also said that she tried to recruit Paris Hilton because she said that Paris Hilton would be perfect
I mean, that makes
for
sense.
Jeffrey Epstein at the time
Seems
because
like-
she looked like a schoolgirl and
But I mean, she didn't fit the prototype, right? Because the prototype for him was someone very, very down and out and troubled and like without fame and fortune.
Yeah.
And Paris Hilton was not
was
troubled.
very, very rich and like
Well,
that's,
troubled
and,
maybe, but-
like that's hot.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, she wasn't somebody that he was going to be able to bribe
And manipulate.
With, yeah. Because he went after girls who had nothing, who, he would say, I'll get you a job, I'll get you an education, I'll get you this or that. Paris Hilton didn't need anything from him.
Yeah.
So that was never going to work out.
Yeah.
So that has happened. Cher has lost her mind, or it continues to be lost.
I was gonna say. I mean, I feel like that's already happened. So we're just seeing more of it play out.
Yeah, I mean, she's saying that Trump is personally responsible for the torture and killing of 160,000 Americans because of the virus. It's his personal way of torturing people.
crazy.
It's not something a sane person says.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
else is happening?
Well, we're going to be talking about how Americans should be freaked out about China because it's very far-reaching. Like, it's not just them trying to get your information on TikTok. It just there's just a whole article about how they're trying to just get control of America and Americans.
And it's not
so-
going to be very hard when we've got crazy people who are defending criminality. They're going to
Always.
welcome it.
Yeah. And liberals are all about just being in bed with China. So we're going to be talking about how that we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. It's a tough fight though, you guys, because we're so already in bed with them, and like Hollywood is. He walked in when I said we're in bed with them. Is that what it is? Every time he walks in, I'm saying something that's like.
No, go on.
Keyword.
I know, right?
And Rob was like,
What is
What?
it about you walking in at the most inopportune time?
Well, clearly it's meant to be.
God.
Stop fighting.
I swear. So it's basically it's just about we already are so entrenched with them, and liberals, they're fine with it, but it's kind of a frightening thing.
I'm gonna need to read that article
Yeah.
before we go on the air.
Well, I mean, I think you know the gist of it, though.
I mean, I really don't.
I think you know the gist of it.
Okay.
It's just how we need
feel
to.
like I
It's
don't.
scary. I don't think it's a state. It's like a congressman that is talking about it. It's either congressman or
The
senator.
National
I get 'em-
Security Advisor.
I get them mixed up because they all take our money and they don't really do much. But it's a pretty interesting article about how we're just so in bed with China already, and it's going to be hard to get away from them. And they just.
And you know who wouldn't even ever try is Joe Biden.
That's
He'll
the
be
point. That is,
asleep.
and that is a huge point in the article, is that he would get us further, like, enmeshed with them.
Yeah.
And that would not be good for us. It would not be good at all.
Speaking of being in bed with people,
No, good Lord. What?
you're going to learn something about me today that when you learn it, good chance underwear may come off.
I'm absolutely positive that's
Don't
not the case.
really
It is
think that's going to happen.
Unbelievable. It is the most amazing thing
Are
ever.
we learning this in speed?
Yes.
Okay. So if you guys want to learn some unbelievable thing that will make you rip your own panties off, make sure to tune into our show on WIBC.com from 9 to 11 this morning. Because that's when whatever that is,
Get ready to just
gonna
go,
be revealed.
"Woo!" That's how we
That's when that's
operate
gonna be
here.
revealed.
Maxine is threatening Joe.
Maxine as in Waters.
Maxine Waters is threatening Joe.
She's very scary.
She is it's about him picking a black woman as VP. And okay, so I need to, like, I don't know what the exact words were. I think it was like, we can't have people going around talking about how wonderful John Lewis was, how much he sacrificed, the beatings that he took, the way that he put his life on the line, and we don't get up and vote. There's no excuse. She said that, but then she said something about, okay, let me make sure this is right. Okay, here it is. She said, let me guarantee you this, based on everything that I know and understand and the help that he has already gotten from the black community with what Jim Clyburn has done. Jim Clyburn, when he hears about this, he's going to laugh, like, basically if Joe Biden doesn't pick a black woman. He can't go home without a black woman being VP. So she's basically saying,
he locked himself into that.
yeah,
right?
he did.
Like maybe he doesn't even like any of these women that are in contention for this job.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad.
That he was already supposed to pick last week.
Yeah.
You
He
know?
was supposed to. And by the way, I heard on Fox and Friends this morning that Jill Biden was interviewed in person with someone. Like she did like an in-person interview. And
What-
yet Joe Biden can't even do that.
Well, is that a shocker to you?
But I mean, that looks terrible. Like, I can see if she does a basement interview too, but if she's going to go out in person and start interviewing with people, that
Yeah.
makes her husband look even worse
Yeah.
than he already looks, which is already bad. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, and they asked her, like, do you consider yourself to be one of his primary advisors if he wins the presidency? And she was like, well, I mean, we're married. And we listen to each other. So
And I try to give him his meds.
right.
I mean, I try to.
And I just try to ignore the fact that he is on a mental decline and it's
Yeah.
happening before my very eyes. And just
Yeah.
ignore that.
And God, I just get so frustrated about that.
I know.
Because if
It's
there's
nuts.
one person that should give half a crap about him, it's her.
And she has to see it.
Of course she
You know what I mean?
sees
It's
it.
not one of those things where I get it if you're the person and you don't see your own decline.
Oh my God.
She has to see it.
And if she doesn't see it, his kids do.
Yeah.
His kids have to see
America
it.
sees it.
My
We all
husband,
see
my
it.
husband and I talked about this last week. I came home and I'm like, you know what? If this were you, I mean, I would never do this to you. This is like, or if it were me, I would hope that you would never do this to me. Put me in a position, or I would ever put you in a position where you were doing this in front of people. It's awful. It's cruel what she's doing to him. It's cruel as a spouse. I'm just like, shame on her. It's gross. Because everybody sees it. You know, Democrats do too. They just don't admit it. And also, a lot of them are so blinded by hate for the mean orange man. You know?
And they're trying to use, they're trying every other way to say we shouldn't have debates because of this XYZ reason.
Yeah.
None of which have anything to do with Joe Biden's mental decline, but they're like making up all these other excuses on why we shouldn't have debates, even though everyone knows that's the reason.
We have a clip from Jimmy Fallon in our lineup today. I mean, they're even like talk show hosts are now spinning it. They're trying to spin it. He's like, if you're undecided now, like what's wrong with you? Like they're projecting on people now, like there's something wrong with you if you want to see a debate. Really? How about you bite me, Jimmy Fallon? Like we've always had debates. This is what we do. Don't put this off on us. Like don't do that. We all want to see these people debate. We want to see these two guys debate because this is the American way. This is what we do. Don't try to make it look like there's something wrong with the American people because we want to see these two guys debate. There's something wrong with y'all.
Granted, my mind is made up, but I still want to see the showdown.
Well, most people do have their mind made up, but they still want to see these guys debate. Of course we want to see these guys debate because this is how we've always done it. They're just afraid. They're obviously afraid because they know their guy sucks. They have a terrible candidate. If it's even possible, they have a worse candidate this time than they did when they had Hillary. He's worse.
At least, listen, she had everything. She was ailing in many physical ways.
Yeah.
But there was really never any doubt that her mind was sharp.
Her mind was there.
She's wrong about everything, but at least her mind was sharp. With Biden, man, he's not just mentally unsound, but he's so frail. Like, if you see him just out walking around, he needs help. I mean, the guy he's not well.
I mean, they've had 4 years to figure out what the hell they're going to do and who they're going to pick, and this is the best they could do. This is it.
An old white dude.
Because they've spent 4 years trying to get this guy out of office, trying to impeach him, trying to do everything they can to destroy him, and they couldn't spend some of their time trying to pick a good candidate. Well, too bad, so sad. And now they're like, oh God, we've got this guy with dementia. What are we going to do? You know, we can't have him. They're scrambling. They're freaking out. They are scared, and they should be scared. Because when he debates, it's going to be a train wreck, you guys. God, a train wreck.
Wait!
Yeah.
As long as it happens. I wish it was happening sooner than September, 29th or something. It's
Well, a lot of people, that's the thing. A lot of people are freaking out because they're going to have some early voting. And a lot of these people are going to vote before they even see this guy get on a stage and debate Trump.
And why? Like, why would you be an early voter? Why would you be that person? I don't understand
Because you hate Trump so much. Because you
but then they're not the ones they don't matter when it comes to the debates anyway.
That's
right?
true. That's
It's
true.
people who could actually be swayed that need to see the debates. They need to see Joe Biden up close and personal showing how utterly he's a mess.
I guess there are people out there. I mean, I guess we all have to realize that there are people who are not super plugged in to politics. You know, we do this every day.
Right.
And then y'all are listening to us every day, which is awesome. And so you're plugged into what's going on in the world. But there are a lot of people who just don't care, you know? I mean, and then they watch stuff like Chrissy Teigen's cooking show to find out who to vote for.
She uses Goya.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at my boobs. And so they watch people like her to find out who they want to, you know, cast their ballot for. And that happens, believe it or not. So a lot of people do that. Maybe those people are the people that are going to watch the debates, or they'll vote early and then they'll watch the debate and be like, oh crap, what did I do?
Oh, that's why I don't understand the motivation for people who do want to vote early. First of all, you know you're doing by mail, and the mail cannot be trusted. So why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I would always be the person that goes to the polls on election day. I would never do it any other way. And I don't understand. I mean, listen, I get the absentee thing if you can't be there to vote physically in person. But why would you not try? Why?
Yeah.
Especially this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This year it's more important than ever.
And I don't understand people who think that there's going to be no fraud with this mail-in voting. You're high, man.
Oh my God.
I mean, you're high.
It's going to be a mess.
It's out of control. I mean, it's a bit like my 10-year-old could vote. It's crazy. If you think that there's going to be no fraud, you're probably a liberal.
For real.
It's out of control.
It's out of control. For real.
Yeah.
You guys, I pet kangaroos this weekend and it
You
was the
did?
greatest thing
Oh
ever.
my God. Oh my God. Did you get pictures?
Yeah, I got all kinds of pictures. I posted them everywhere.
Oh my God.
There is a place. Everybody needs to know about this place. Because we were going to go all the way to Kentucky Down Under, where you can pet kangaroos at Kentucky Down Under. So it's like south of Louisville. And so we were going to go all the way there until I found a place just outside of French Lick called Wilstum Ranch.
I've heard of this place.
It's
yeah.
so fun. So they have, you can stay there in like a cabin. That's what we did. But you don't have to stay there to go there. And they have like the, what are the things that you do in Texas? The drive-through safaris.
So you did that?
So we did that, and we like fed a lot of things. But I went because I wanted to go to the kangaroo. They had lemurs that I wanted to see, and they had kangaroos, and then you could play with them, and
Yeah.
they're just so sweet, and they feel like kittens, you guys.
They're very, very
soft as
soft.
kittens, and it's been a long time since I had my hands on a kangaroo. It was 2001,
Yeah.
and I didn't think they had them here, and they
Yeah.
have them in Indiana.
That's so cool.
Indiana has them, you guys.
And do they have like a lot of like precautions and stuff down there because of COVID?
I mean, what was really cool is that we went in to check in to our room on Saturday, and the people inside were wearing masks, and so we had ours on. And then I went up, and then the lady was like, I was messing with mine because, of course, it was in the way and it was bothering me. And she was like, "You don't have to wear that if you don't want to." And I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah,
Well, I mean,
I can't make you."
you're outside. and
Well, I mean, but this is in the office,
Okay,
right? Where
yeah.
everybody was masked. And so I pulled it down, and then we had our conversation, checked in, and that was that. So they have those, they say, like when you go into the barn, they say everybody needs to wear a mask in the barn. But even there,
people were kind of
we just kind of pulled it down.
lazy
Because I
about
was
it.
not going to have my mouth covered. I wanted to like get all in
Yeah,
the
all up in
animals.
their business.
All
Yeah,
up in their
I know.
business.
I love those drive-through safaris. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was cool. That was
Yeah.
fun. But I like the barn the best. Because
Yeah.
that's where you could really just
See the animals.
you sit with them and cuddle on them. And two of the mamas had little Joeys.
Oh my god.
I know, they're so cute.
So if you're at Indy, you can check that out.
Seriously,
And then
do it.
the ones that we were at, there are two of them. There's Topsy and then Franklin that are in Texas that we go to. They're fantastic.
It's
the,
so
the,
fun.
The Franklin one in Texas is they have giraffes that you can interact
Yeah, they have
with.
giraffes and zebras and
Yeah,
elephants.
I mean they're all
and
sorts of.
if you want to pay a lot of money at Wilstum, we didn't do this because all I really cared about was the kangaroos. But you can pay a lot of money, and you can have an encounter with grizzly bears. They
Oh
have
my
two
God, how
grizzlies.
cool is that?
I know we didn't do that because that was too expensive. But they have that. You can do you can like wash and like play with elephants. You can do the giraffes. You can pay
I
for
would
any
see. I
number of that.
would love to do the elephant thing.
You could do that. And they have different things. Like you could do a cheaper package where you just go and you are with the elephants and you get to hear about them and ask questions.
Yeah.
Or you can actually do the thing where you're
Go
cleaning
love on them
and
yeah.
loving.
See,
Yeah.
I'd love on the elephants.
So they have
I love
all different
elephants.
kinds of packages. They should pay me for this marketing.
Right? I
because
know.
it was great. And
I
it's
know.
just, it's 2 hours away from Carmel. It's like probably 45 minutes away from you.
Yeah,
It's just next door to her.
I know, right? Because I live
So-
so south.
It is so fun. I love animals so much, which is why I would pet all the swamp rats.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you
Topsy.
saw something.
Mikey the camel. He is fun. He always eats all the stuff though. We're always in a pickup truck because we have 2 trucks, and then we're in the back. And then Mike the camel always comes in and eats all the crap at the
And
end.
did you feel their lips? You
What,
guys,
camels?
camels' lips.
Oh yeah, they have like the soft,
Oh,
like
my
right
God,
here.
they're so
It's like right
soft.
here. Like they have the softest right here.
Oh,
yeah.
it feels like a dog ear. Like their little schmoosh right here. This whole part is so
Camels,
schmooshy
I
and
know.
soft.
Camels are precious. I love
They're
camels.
so sweet.
Yeah, I tell you what I don't like though that I could do without are ostriches.
There were emus here, and we steered
Not a fan
clear.
of emus either.
I don't like big birds.
Ostriches and emus freak me out, you guys. I
and
can
they
do without them.
they're like this at you.
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
feel like they could, like they should have gone extinct. You know what I mean?
like
it-
Gone with the Dinosaurs.
Yeah, like it's like they just stuck around for some reason. And I'm not sure why they stuck around. Like I'm like I could, you
They're
guys
very
can
freaky.
go away now because I don't need you. I feel like you need to just go.
And my husband had a stare down contest with this one black and white llama
Yeah.
that was standing outside, and they just stared at each other, and it was super funny. And then like one llama put his head all the way up in our car.
Yeah,
They were great. It's just
I
really
love
fun.
llamas. I love llamas.
Do that with your family because it's super fun.
We're also talking a lot about cancel culture today. NASA's they're like changing a bunch of names because they're politically correct now. I cannot believe that that's happening with NASA. Like, give me a break. We have to do this in the sky now? We have to do it in the sky. What are we doing?
Well, it's because some of their space names are racist, you guys. I mean, you
Okay.
can't be calling something the Eskimo Nebula. You can't do that. You have to call that NGC 2392 from now on.
All right.
according to NASA.
Well, that's catchy.
Right?
That's really
Yeah, no more Siamese Twins Galaxy. That's only going to be known as NGC 4567 and NGC 4568. Just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? So much better than Siamese Twins Galaxy. Why are we can't say Siamese twins now?
No,
Isn't that like an actual, oh, because we have to say conjoined
twins. Twins that are connected.
Right. You can't say Siamese anymore. Why?
I don't know. Conjoined
Was
is
like the first set of conjoined twins from Siam?
I have no idea.
Is that even a place
I don't know.
anymore?
Somebody Google that for us. I don't know. I don't know.
why
I
is
don't know anymore. Everything. I just don't know. I want to care. I want to.
Oh my god.
And I don't. So yeah. So we're talking all sorts of, and then we like Civil War battlefields are being canceled because we gotta just forget that the Civil War happened. Because because history, you guys, history just didn't happen.
It's amazing to me that like all of these efforts to undo history or rewrite history, that the people that are pushing that forward don't recognize that that's exactly what happened in nations that were taken down by communism. Like that is the first step. That the tearing down of statues, that the rewriting of history it always leads to the same outcome.
Well,
why do they want that?
Because they didn't read history. They don't know history.
Well, but they know it enough to want to undo it. You know what I mean?
They know. Well, they pick and choose. They know that part of it, but they don't know the part that says, "Hey, this is communism." Listen. These people are commies.
Right.
These people are commies. They want communism, so they're like, "Let's embrace communism." Liberals. In my opinion, liberalism is communism. They can sugarcoat it and say, "Oh no, it's democratic socialism."
Right.
It's what it is, Daisy. No, bullcrap. Y'all are commies. That's what you want. That's what you want, and that's the end. That's the end result of everything that you want. You can sugarcoat it all you want, but that is what you want, and you want this like almighty government to control everything that you do. I don't want that. I want America. So, yeah, it makes you very uneasy. She starts breathing really weird.
I do, because I just think back to the Twitter, right, this morning about the people that are justifying the Chicago riots. And I'm just thinking, these are the people that are deciding the future of the country. Mm-hmm. And that anyone could defend that by using safety as their excuse. I mean, I saw a lot of people who were like, human lives are more important than high-end luxury bags. And they're using that as a way to excuse the fact that people are stealing what doesn't belong to them. They're destroying stores and buildings that do not belong to them and justifying it in the name of saying, well, this is us protesting Trump's reaction or inaction or however you want to describe it on COVID.
Yeah. What the hell? And
what in the world? And these are the people that make the noise, that get the attention, that create the change.
And are called noble. This is the kind of stuff that's called noble. And then I can't go to a swim meet of my kids. I can't go to swim meets now. My kid has to swim by herself and do it alone while we wait because that's not allowed. But these people are allowed to loot. It's totally okay. That's fine. This is America now, y'all. This is America. And we all just sit around and let it happen.
And it's coming to a city near you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any doubt that we're close enough to Chicago that Indianapolis, the gangs in Indianapolis are going to be like,
oh, are you kidding?
We need to start this up again.
Are you kidding? Our city is a shithole now.
It is.
It was fine 3 years ago. Our city was beautiful 3 years ago. We used to sit on the circle. We used to do all sorts of stuff. We used to actually go out. Mm-hmm. Now we come to our building every day, right? We come downtown. We do not leave this building because it's not safe. That's our city now because it's run by Democrats. Mm-hmm. That's what our city is.
Who are utterly absent until there's something that they feel like they need to be woke about.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they make all their woke statements and then they go back to hiding as the city gets torn apart.
Yep. I would never bring my child down here. Mm-mm. It's not safe. I would never, and I used to. We used to bring the whole family down here. We used to come do stuff down here. There were places to shop, places to eat. I would never do that now. It's not safe.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
And that's what's happening all across the country.
And that is because Democrats. Period.
So yeah, that's why I'm heaving the big sighs.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We just don't have a lot of optimism right now.
No.
We're supposed to, I know people were upset the last time that we were kind of pessimistic, and they were sending us messages saying, we need you guys to be.
I know, we're trying, but it's like, this is why I know we said it the last time, but I think more than ever, I can't help it. It's more than ever. This election is so important.
Yeah.
It's just so important, And I get so angry when I, see people with this mask shaming bull crap and this, everybody's shaming everybody. And listen, this is America. I don't recognize my country right now. I just don't recognize it. I don't recognize my city right now. And things have got to change. They really do. I worry for my kids. That's who I worry for your kids, because it's not the country and the city that I remember even from 3 years ago. So I don't know what it's going to look like in the next 3 years.
And that's the scariest part too, I think, for me, is that the change has been so fast.
Yeah.
Like it has changed so drastically in a bad way so fast.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of all this BLM and all these protests and stuff, on our website this morning, I posted a video from a black guy, who said that as a result of all of these protests and the George Floyd and everything that's happened since George Floyd, he's a guy that he works in people's homes. I don't know what his profession is, but he goes to people's homes and does whatever it is that he's contracted to do. And he said that as a result of all of these protests and the BLM movement, that everything is way worse. That he used to go into the homes of white people and it would be great. They'd have like this easy banter. They were just two people talking. It'd be fine. And ever since, now there's this suspicion. There's this tension. There's this, is he going to think I'm racist? Is he going to think I'm a BLM proponent? There's all of this suspicion now that never existed before.
Yeah.
And it is totally the fault of this hyper focus on race.
On race.
And it was so interesting to hear it come from that side.
Yeah,
right?
I totally hear you.
You need to listen to it. It's 60 seconds of your life.
Yeah.
Just listen to what he says, because it was a perspective that we don't ever get to hear. Because we're always hearing, oh, Black Lives Matter. Well, he's a black life. And he's saying, y'all have made it worse.
Yeah.
Everything is worse now.
Yeah.
So congrats, progressives.
Yeah.
Because this is on you. This is what you've done.
No, I hear you.
Uh-oh.
Is it time?
It's time.
You say hi. You want to say hi to everybody? At least be polite and say good
And
morning.
don't say anything gross.
Be polite and say good morning.
A lot of rules here.
So many.
Can you just
so
not
many rules.
say anything
Just
disgusting?
don't be
for 2
gross. Don't be a
seconds.
complete perv. And just say good morning to everybody.
He's doing that.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
Aw, see, that was
okay,
nice.
good
That
job.
was good. That was good. Now shut
job.
up. Let's bring it in. Let's bring it in, everybody. Bring it in. Bring it in, Rob. Bring it in.
He's
You
not
guys,
bringing it in.
you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.